Welcome back to the deep dive.
Okay, let's talk about something we've all run into. You've got the facts, the logic, everything seems perfectly clear. And you offer this, brilliant piece of advice or a solution, and it's met with just a blank look or maybe even pushback.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly common.
Why does that happen? Why does really good, rational advice sometimes just fail? Today, we're diving into some really fascinating source material that looks at exactly why, and maybe more importantly, what we can actually do about it. Yeah, our mission here is to explore what the sources call the art of touching what others truly want.
Hmm.
So moving past just stating our truth,
Yeah.
and learning how to influence things so that ideally everyone feels good about it, feels empowered even.
It's about impact, not just talking. And I think this really connects with a lot of listeners' experiences because often you genuinely want to help, right? You see the right way and you share it, but it just, well, falls flat.
And you're left kind of scratching your head thinking, why didn't they listen? This deep dive offers some pretty surprising insights, I think, and some really practical tools to shift that whole dynamic.
Okay, so let's tackle that core problem straight on. The research asks this central question. Why does advice that seems undeniably correct often get ignored? That feeling, you're trying to help, but you just hit a wall of resistance. What's really going on there?
It's a great question, and the sources use this really simple but powerful analogy. Think about fishing. When you go fishing, what's the goal? Catch a fish, obviously. Now, do you put your favorite food on the hook? Like maybe a piece of chocolate cake?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
You use what the fish likes,
Yeah.
right? Worms or whatever they eat.
Exactly. You wouldn't use your favorite snack.
Even if I thought chocolate cake was objectively better.
Right. And that immediately shows the shift we need. It's not about our truth, our logic.
It's about connecting with their preference,
Yeah.
their desire.
Precisely. The core idea is simple. To influence anyone, use their preferred bait, not yours. So the question changes from what do I want them to do to what do they really want? And how can I help them get that? It's a total reframing.
And that's where the language itself becomes critical. Our sources point this out very clearly. It's about shifting how you phrase things. Moving from I want you to.
Which feels like pressure, like a command.
Exactly. To you will get.
Ah, okay. Highlighting their benefit.
Yes. That pivot from I to you. The material calls it a life-altering shift in communication. It sounds simple, maybe, but it changes the whole feel of the interaction, puts their benefit right up front.
And that communicates something totally different, doesn't it? It goes from feeling controlled to feeling potentially empowered.
Let's make this really concrete. The sources have some fantastic everyday stories that show this principle working. These aren't just abstract theories. These are situations you can probably picture. I'm already thinking about trying to get my kids to clean their rooms.
Yeah.
Definitely using my bait there.
Slight chuckle. Yeah, a classic example. These stories really bring it home.
Okay, first one. The stubborn calf. Picture this. Two people are trying, really struggling, to pull a calf into a pen, but the calf is just digging its heels in, resisting completely.
Force isn't working. Then someone else comes along, a helper, and she doesn't pull harder. She just offers her finger for the calf to suck on. Something the calf naturally wants, right? A comfort thing.
And what happens?
The calf just follows her willingly right into the pen. No force, no fight, just the right motivation. It spoke to its internal drive.
That's, wow, such a clear contrast. We create so much resistance just by pushing, don't we?
Often, yes.
Okay, then there's the eager preschooler. A dad wants his little boy to go to school, but instead of the usual, you have to go, which, let's face it, often backfires.
Right. Kids hate being told what to do. He sits down with his son, and he starts listing all the fun things the boy will get to do there. The games, the painting, the friends. He paints this picture of fun and discovery, things the child already wants.
So he's connecting school to the boy's own desires.
Exactly. And the next morning, the little boy wakes up early. He's actually worried he'll be late and miss out on the fun he wants.
He wasn't forced. He was motivated from within.
Or feeling.
Okay, moving to a more business-like example. Negotiating hall rental fees. Someone needs to get the price down, but instead of just pleading, please lower the fee.
They did their homework. They looked at it entirely from the hall owner's point of view.
What were the owner's concerns, their potential gains and losses?
Right. So they framed their argument not as we need a discount, but as here's why keeping us at the current rate benefits you. They said something like, look, if you raise the price now during peak season, you risk losing our group entirely. That's future revenue gone. Plus, you miss out on the free PR our event brings.
So focusing squarely on what the owner feared losing money good publicity, and what they'd gain by keeping the price steady.
Exactly. And the result?
The price increase was significantly reduced. It just proves how powerful framing it from their perspective is. Not just asking, but showing them their win. Then there's that everyday problem. The collaboration request email, we've all sent them right. Please send your schedule.
Very direct, very focused on the sender's need.
And often they just get ignored or delayed
Yeah.
because it's just another task for the recipient.
So the effective version, according to the sources, starts differently. It flips the script immediately. Instead of send us your schedule, it might start to ensure your goods get unloaded quickly, or so you can receive your shipment promptly.
Ah, okay. Still asking for the schedule, implicitly.
But leading with their benefit, to ensure your goods. Same request, totally different framing. It shows how this helps them. Much higher chance of a quick reply.
And one last one, this one's quite vivid. Renovating an old gas station. A salesperson tried for ages to convince the owner to upgrade a pretty rundown station. Logic, numbers about potential profit. None of it worked. The owner just resisted.
Right. He wasn't feeling the need for change. So the breakthrough wasn't more talking. It was arranging for the owner to visit and experience a modern, renovated station.
Ah, letting him see it, feel it himself.
Exactly. He saw the clean layout, the happy customers, the efficient flow, and that sparked something internal. His desire to have that same standard for his station was activated, not because the salesperson told him to, but because he wanted it himself.
And the old station got renovated. Wow, these examples are really powerful. What stands out to you across all of them? What's the common thread?
It's incredibly consistent, isn't it? In every single case, the moment the other person saw a clear benefit for themselves.
Their behavior just shifted, almost immediately.
Right, and willingly. There was no pushing needed. It was like you just activated a switch that was already there, a motivation they already possessed.
You weren't creating desire, just tapping into it.
Precisely. It's like that old saying, you can lead a horse to water. Well, these stories show us how to make the horse want the water you're offering.
It's definitely not magic, then. It's psychology. Deep-seated human drives. And our sources break this down into basically 3 core psychological and social principles that explain why this approach works so well.
Absolutely. The first one they highlight is the law of internal desire. Think about it. Every single thing we do really starts with some kind of internal want. Maybe it's comfort, maybe recognition, safety, feeling useful, autonomy.
Some driving force from within.
Exactly. And when your words, your proposal, connects directly with that existing internal engine, well, the brain just opens up. The message gets through. You're not fighting against their nature. You're aligning with it. The second principle is ownership and self-expression. This is huge. People value things much more if they feel they chose them or had a hand in creating them.
Ah, so it's not just your idea being pushed onto them.
Right. If you can guide them subtly, maybe ask questions so they suggest part of the solution or let them modify your idea, they adopt it. It becomes theirs.
And their commitment skyrockets.
Dramatically.
Right.
Because now it's about their own judgment, their own idea. And the third one is positioning benefits from their perspective. We saw this in the examples, using phrases like, you will get, or this helps you avoid. It taps directly into the brain's natural gain versus loss calculation.
We're wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, essentially.
We really are. And the brain, our sources suggest, doesn't inherently dislike truth, but it really dislikes feeling controlled or forced.
So framing it as their gain or their way to avoid a loss feels empowering, not restricting.
Exactly. Which I think leads us to a really important question here.
It does, because this sounds super effective. But isn't this just manipulation? A fancy way to get people to do what you want? Where's the ethical line?
That's a crucial point, and the sources are clear on this distinction. It's vital. Manipulation is about getting someone to act in a way that only benefits you, often against their own best interests. They feel used afterward, maybe resentful. Genuine influence, driven by empathy, is about finding the overlap. It's about aligning goals so that what's good for them also happens to align with what you're suggesting.
So mutual benefit is key.
Absolutely. And the ultimate litmus test. How do they feel afterward? If they feel empowered, understood, maybe even grateful, that's influence. If they feel tricked or diminished, that's manipulation. It hinges on genuine intent and mutual respect.
That's a really helpful clarification.
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't just interesting theory. The sources give us a very practical tool, a framework called the 5C filter. It's like a mental checklist to use before you speak to help put these principles into action. Can you walk us through those 5 C's?
Sure can. It's designed to be really actionable. First C, clarify their want. Before you even open your mouth, pause. Ask yourself, What does this person truly desire in this situation? And be specific. Is it respect, less stress, more time, a good grade, saving money, getting promoted? Really pinpoint their core motivation. If you're not sure, you might need to ask some open-ended questions first.
Got it. Know their bait.
Second C, connect benefits. Now frame your message starting with "you will" or "this helps you." Clearly state the outcome they want, or the risks they'll avoid, or the easiest path to their goal. Make that connection explicit. Here's how my idea gets you what you want.
Link your suggestion directly to their desire.
Third C, co-create. This taps into that ownership principle. Don't just present a finished plan. Invite their input. Ask something like, from your perspective, what's the best way to approach this? Or, how could we adjust this slightly to make it work better for you? Let them add their touch, modify something. Even if they only contribute 10%, it makes a massive difference to their buy-in.
Make them feel like a partner in it.
Fourth C, concrete small steps. Big ideas can be overwhelming. Break it down. Translate your proposal into one tiny, easy, low-friction first step, something they can do in, say, 5 or 10 minutes. Make it super simple to just start. Remove that initial barrier of, oh, this seems like too much work. Think micro-commitments.
Lower the barrier to entry.
And the fifth C, confirm and commit. Once you've agreed on something, summarize it clearly. Okay, so to recap, you decided to try X by specific time, and we'll touch base in to see how it went. Confirm their choice, the timeline, maybe what success looks like. Then follow up gently. And this is crucial praise, their first steps, their initial progress. That positive reinforcement builds momentum.
That 5C filter seems like a really solid roadmap.
Right.
But is there a risk it feels, I don't know, formulaic, like you're just running through steps instead of having a real conversation?
That's a fair question. Initially, yes, it might feel a bit like using a checklist, especially if you're consciously thinking, okay, C1, C2. But the idea is, with practice, it stops being a formula and becomes more of an ingrained mindset, a habit of thought. It shifts you automatically from, what do I need to say, to, what does this person need to hear? How can I connect with their world?
Yeah.
The authenticity comes from the genuine desire to understand and help them achieve their goals, not just ticking boxes. It becomes a natural part of empathetic communication.
Okay, that makes sense. Practice internalizes it. And to help us practice, the sources even give us some specific phrases, some sentence starters we can use, like changing our bait on the fly. These seem like great starting points. For example, to help you achieve their desired outcome faster, I propose your idea. I can even handle mention a hard part you'll take on.
Right. See how it leads with their goal, offers your solution, and even removes an obstacle for them. Very powerful.
Or this one, if your main goal is restate their goal, then probably the least risky way to get started is just by doing mention a tiny first step, maybe in the next day or two.
Again, connects to their goal, minimizes perceived risk, suggests a small, immediate action, lowers resistance.
Here's another. Okay, so what you'll gain right away is clear benefit 1, plus you'll avoid problem pain point 2. How about we try just a quick, maybe 10-minute version first?
Love that one. Direct benefits, pain avoidance, and that tiny, low commitment start. It directly addresses that internal cost-benefit analysis we all do.
And finally, from where you're sitting, what do you see as the biggest barrier right now? Maybe I can help you tackle that specific hurdle.
Yeah, that's great for co-creation. It shows you're focused on their challenges and invites them to identify the problem while you offer support to solve it, puts them in the driver's seat, but with help.
These frames really do shift the focus immediately, don't they?
They absolutely do. They're designed to bypass that instinctive resistance by aligning with the other person's perspective right from the start.
So wrapping this all up, the big takeaway seems clear. If you really want to influence outcomes, forget just preaching the truth or relying solely on logic. Instead, like our sources strongly suggest, learn to bait the right fish. Speak directly to what the other person desires and help them clearly see what's in it for them.
It really is a fundamental shift in communication. So maybe before your next important conversation, just remember 3 key things from our discussion today. 1, really consciously put yourself in their shoes. What's their world, their concerns, their wants right now? 2, frame the benefits in their language. Talk about what they gain or what pain they avoid. Make it about them. And 3, find ways to involve them. Let them co-create the solution, even just a little bit. Give them that ownership.
Okay, here's a challenge for you, the listener, for the next 24 hours. Pick one conversation you know you'll have, maybe with your kid, a coworker, a client, someone you want to influence or help. First, before you talk to them, actually write it down. What do they truly want in this situation? What's their underlying motivation? Second, think. How can I connect what I want to suggest to that desire? What's the genuine benefit for them? Third, figure out what's one super small, maybe 10-minute step they could take almost immediately to feel a tiny bit of progress or experience that benefit. Then go have that conversation. Try using one of those frames we talked about to help you get X, or you'll avoid Y, or let's just start with none. And then don't forget this part, notice and genuinely praise that very first step they take, however small it is. Reinforce that positive action.
It's really powerful stuff. Because when you learn to empower others to get what they want, you're not just persuading, you're actually unlocking the motivation that's already inside them. You build trust, you foster collaboration, you become a genuine ally. And when that happens, well, things just start to work better. Connections deepen, results improve. It can really open things up.
We really hope this deep dive has given you some powerful new tools for your communication toolkit. Think about the frustrations you might avoid, the relationships you could improve just by making this shift. If you found this helpful, maybe share it with someone you know who often feels like, nobody ever listens to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes, honestly, just changing one sentence, reframing your approach can completely change everything. Thanks so much for joining us on the Deep Dive.